how did you end up with the name Michael Tarver?
Oh man, that's funny. So when I first got signed, we were using our real names, and then after about 3 months, they told us quickly we need to come up with a name that they can copyright. So my name went from my real name to which is Tyrone Evans to Tyrone Jones. I was wrestling as Tyrone Jones for a while, and then which is funny. And then from there, we had to come up with different names. So I came up with the boxing character and with the knockout punch, the 1.9 second knockout punch, and then next thing you know, the Big Show's knocking people out on SmackDown, so that I wasn't allowed to use my knockout punch anymore, even though it came from me. But anyway, that's how it happens. And so they gave me the name Tyson Tarver after two boxers because the WWE creative is extremely creative. A boxing character named after two boxers is, but anyway. So then Tyson Kidd debuted with the Hart Dynasty. He was a good friend of mine, TJ Wilson. And he debuted, so then I lost the name Tyson. So I was just using Mr. Tarver for a while. And Mr. Kennedy was still at WWE. So I'm in developmental, like, I got to find a name. Yeah, I was like, I got to come up with a name. So here's a crazy story. So in 2009, at the end of 2009, I had, what an experience it was. So Halloween 2009, my ex-wife and I went to this haunted house, and then I went and saw the movie Paranormal Activity. Now, I've never been to a haunted house, and Paranormal Activity was the very last horror movie that I will ever watch again. And that caused me to have some very violent, intense PTSD and intense spiritual attacks. Like, it was kind of crazy. The entire month of November, it was crazy. Like, I was like hearing voices, seeing things. I couldn't sleep. Like, I was going crazy. And I learned a lot about that experience. But during that month, I remember having a conversation with a young guy who was there at NXT, and we were talking about the movie The Crossroads. He was 19 years old. I don't know how he knew about the movie The Crossroads. And so we were talking about the movie The Crossroads with Ralph Macchio, and where he played the guitarist, and Bobby Johnson, I think his name was, the old blues guitarist who supposedly sold his soul to the devil to be a guitarist or whatever. Yeah. And so we were talking about that, and for some reason that gave me an idea for a character. So the character that I came up with that WWE loved but wouldn't let me do it on TV, which I heard somebody copy, but where I would do a split personality, like I would juxtapose two different personalities, and the gimmick of it was that it was the angel on one shoulder, devil on the other. And right, so I would walk up to the person and on one shoulder, and I would talk to him like, very gently, whatever, and then ask him, let me ask you a question. You ever feel like you had an angel on one shoulder, and then walk to the other shoulder, and then the devil on the other, and then completely like be super aggressive and all of that. And I got standing ovations, and they went crazy. Dusty Rhodes went crazy. They loved it. And I had to come up with a name, so I came up with the name Michael Tarver. Michael, as far as the Archangel Michael. Yeah. And because I wanted the character to be a biblical character, and I was pitching like that I feud with Undertaker because of his character, the nature of his character, and I was like, they would tell us like, hey, submit stuff to the creative team. So I'm like writing all kinds of storylines, and I'm like, yo, I can feud with this person and that person. I can, and I was very highly regarded on the microphone at WWE. That they'll never say, only people that were there know, they'll say it, but I was very highly regarded with promos, like to the likes of like the greats. And this is coming from Dusty Rhodes, who, God rest his soul, is no longer with us. But, Dusty Rhodes and Vince McMahon themselves, like, these are their words. But the world will never know that I can really cut a really good promo. It was an understatement. But I tried to create that character, and I named it Michael Tarver, because I still had the boxing element, but the Michael was the, angel on one shoulder, devil on the other, like that kind of biblical, spiritual element.
I was going to say, we really never got to see you speak too much on TV. And you had your mouth covered half the time. You had the mask before. Wearing the mask was cool in 2020. So
yeah, that was right. That was figurative too. I actually came up with the mask character to be a. I'm so dramatic. The mask was a muzzle. That was the message. It was figuratively that it was a muzzle because they wouldn't let me talk on TV because they knew that they knew what I could do, so they wouldn't let me talk. So I put on the mask originally and to be a muzzle. And that was when we were in NXT in England, and we had to do a promo challenge. And everyone was thinking, oh, this is my bread and butter. This is where I was going to kill it. But instead, I decided to walk up, and it was the first time I ever done it. I cut the sleeve off my T-shirt, and it had a T on it. And I covered up my face, and then I walked up to the podium, and then just stood there, and then let the like 20,000 people in the O2 arena just yelling crazy stuff at me, just whatever. And then I just walked back to my spot, and everybody was just completely surprised that I didn't say a word. And the only person that got it was Vince McMahon. He got it. He was like, "See what you did there." But I put the cover up my face, to show like now when I'm allowed to talk, you don't want me to, It was just I was just trying to stand out, being dramatic, whatever. But that was the point of the match.